Barkskins, 2016, Annie Proux's sweeping work of historical fiction begins in 17th-century America and chronicles the intertwined lives of two young Frenchmen and their descendants. The novel explores themes of ecological devastation, settler colonialism, and deforestation over generations. Though it received mixed reviews upon release, critics generally praised its ambitious scope and relevance to contemporary environmental concerns. The story opens with Charles Duquet and René Sel, two impoverished indentured servants arriving in the vast, untamed forests of New France. They enter into a grueling agreement with Claude Trepagny, a feudal landowner who promises them land in exchange for clearing forests for his maize fields. While Sel commits to the task, Duquet abandons his servitude, fleeing to seek fortune in the fur trade. Trepagny meanwhile schemes to marry a French noblewoman. To achieve this, he arranges for Sel to marry his indigenous wife, offering Sel double the land initially promised as an incentive. Sel accepts the arrangement and continues working the land. The narrative shifts to Duquet's journey in the fur trade. While initially lucrative, he realizes that the true wealth lies in the timber industry he left behind. Avoiding a return to face Trepagny's wrath, Duquet ventures to China to sell furs and amass enough silver to launch his own forestry enterprise. His travels lead him to an alliance with Dutch captain Piet Rus, solidified through marriage to Rose's daughter, Cornelia. Duquet adopts two orphaned boys, Jan and Nicholas, and later welcomes two more sons, biological son Outger and adopted Bernard. Returning to New France, Duquet builds a timber empire by acquiring vast tracts of forest in Maine. However, his ambitions face setbacks as thieves begin to target his operations, stealing valuable timber and threatening his growing legacy. Proux's richly detailed narrative spans continents and centuries, weaving together a multi-generational saga shaped by humanity's relentless exploitation of nature. He kills the thief after discovering he works for Dud McBogle, a rival mill owner. Soon after, he adopts the name Charles Duke and establishes Duke's Sons, a thriving timber enterprise. With his growing wealth, Duke ventures into the lucrative shipbuilding industry. Years later, Duke seeks a partnership with McBogle, but McBogle kills him in revenge for the boy's murder. Duke's children inherit the business and successfully manage it, fostering strong ties with both French and English merchants throughout their lives. The narrative then shifts to Duke's great-grandson, James, who comes of age and joins the family business. James becomes infatuated with a married woman and devises a plan to eliminate her husband. Exploiting the man's fragile mental state, James frames him for murder, leading to his exile and eventual death. Free to pursue his love, James marries the widow. Their daughter, Lavinia, is born as the forest lands begin to give way to farmland. Determined to sustain the family business, James expands operations into Michigan. As Lavinia grows, she develops an interest in the timber trade and assumes leadership after James's death. Under her guidance, the business expands further into Chicago. During her tenure, Lavinia investigates potential heirs and discovers that only descendants of René Sel remain as options. Dissatisfied, she orchestrates a merger with another firm, forming Duke and Breitsprecher. Lavinia marries Dieter Breitsprecher, and they have a son, Charlie. Charlie, in contrast to his ancestors, becomes a conservationist. Traveling to Brazil, he studies the rainforest and the importance of replanting trees to sustain future generations. However, the Wall Street crash of 1929 devalues the company, and with no one willing to take over, the Duke Empire collapses. Meanwhile, René Sel's lineage flourishes. By the novel's end, Sel's descendants emerge as passionate activists and conservationists, dedicating their lives to protecting their local environment and addressing broader ecological challenges. The novel concludes on a hopeful note, emphasizing the importance of planting seeds, both literal and metaphorical, for the benefit of future generations, a legacy shared by both families and humanity as a whole. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, and be sure to subscribe. Thank you.